Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenna Rashipura. In the news tonight, the Capricorn Group, together with World Food Program, is hosting a workshop on Friday on transformative food systems for sustainable development. Speaking at the workshop is Marlies Horn, Group Executive, Brand and Corporate Affairs and Executive Officer at the Capricorn Foundation. Yolanda Nell reports.
Because really we share a common vision of a world where every person has access to sufficient and nutritious food, and where food systems are resilient and sustainable. Together, as partners, we are committed to enhancing food and nutritional security, improving livelihoods and accelerating socio-economic outcomes for the people of Namibia. Food systems are the backbone of our economy and society. They are critical in addressing our most pressing challenges, such as poverty, hunger, climate change adaptation and mitigation. However, the current food systems are unsustainable and often fail to provide healthy and nutritious food due to various challenges. Transformative food systems are therefore critical to sustainable development, and we must work together to make them a reality. So today's event is really an opportune time where we can discuss food systems and its transformational potential. It's also allowing us to discuss strategies to transform the food systems in Namibia, to upscale the local food production, making them more inclusive, equitable, and also sustainable.
Deputy Minister of Basic Education, Faustina Kelly, urged graduates from Sunshine Private College to effectively package and deliver educational content when teaching. Kelly was speaking at the third annual graduation ceremony for postgraduate diploma in education in Windhoek this morning. Wetemwene Shikage reports.
This postgraduate diploma empowers our educators and will go a long way in building their capacity to package and deliver content in innovative, exciting, and easily understandable ways. For far too long, a misconception has prevailed that anybody who has mastered content can teach. Bring about good throughput. By throughput, I mean the number of students enrolled into the particular program of students that actually complete their studies in the stipulated time. Throughput is a major concern for our ministry. You heard and you saw and you listened how people wanted to crucify the minister and the deputy minister of basic education because the throughput at grade 12 AS was not what we wanted. You remember? What we want is really, if we get these children and they go through, and we must have many of them to complete. Not only 15% or lower than that. When it happened like that, this is apparently it is expensive, it is demoralizing. Some of us, high blood pressure went up because we can't sleep. Where did we go wrong? But we know that in this case of us, the 2 years education didn't go the way we wanted because of COVID, lockdown, so the learners and students didn't get what they're supposed to get. We suspect that one of the reasons why throughput is so low is because the capacity of our teachers to deliver content has not been sufficient built.
A group of children of the liberation struggle who have been camping at the SWAPO Party Kavango East regional headquarters in Rundu since July 2022 have changed course on their demands. The struggle kids who initially wanted government jobs now want land for agricultural purposes and to be assisted with startup capital as they want to contribute to the nation's food security. This is contained in a letter dated the 14th of February addressed to Kavango East Governor Bonifacius Wakadumo, in which the group called upon his office to engage the relevant authorities to make their demands a reality. The struggle kids claimed the government is not doing well economically, hence the lack of positive feedback on their demands for jobs, which they have been making for over a decade. The concerned group of children born by people of the liberation struggle of Namibia have looked into the matter of demanding jobs from the government, which is not materializing due to the critical conditions of the economic downfall of our country. We practically decided to meet the government halfway to focus on agricultural diversification and food security to ensure sustainable household employment is maintained in good practice. It read, the group aims to focus on the cultivation of a variety of crops, vegetable production, and poultry production for eggs and chicken. It said, now the group's proposal is for the allocation of land as well as startup capital for tools, seeds, and equipment. Wakadumo, who acknowledged the receipt of the letter. Classes at all schools in the Commerce region will now start no earlier than 7:30 a.m. and no later than 8:30 a.m. This is according to a new directive issued to school board chairpersons and principals. Issued by the Director of the Ministry of Education, Paulus Ngihikembwa, it reads, the ministry has taken note of the implications of the winter time change, which sparked public outcry since its implementation. The ministry has directed that all schools in the region should commence actual teaching not earlier than 7:30 a.m. and no later than 8:30 a.m. The Commerce Directorate would like primary, junior secondary, senior secondary, and special schools, both public and private, to adjust the starting time not earlier than 7:30 a.m. and subsequently adjust the ending time in such a way that it is still possible for parents to pick up learners and return to work after lunch in good time. He said schools offering the platoon system, which sees learners attending classes in the afternoons, were directed to start teaching at 12:30 p.m. and finish no later than 4:30 p.m. Schools wishing to deviate from the directive are required to seek approval from the Directorate. Such schools will have to take full responsibility for any eventuality or incident directly linked to the deviation from this direction. This is necessary given the multiple reports of rape and sexual molesting happening in our communities and the country at large. Ngihikembwa said the directive becomes effective on the 3rd of April and will end on the 31st of August. The Health Defense League, made up of conservative health practitioners, business people, and activists opposed to government measures against COVID-19, including vaccines, says it needs $3.5 million to successfully sue Health Minister Dr. Kalumbi Shangula. At an event held in Windhoek on Tuesday, HDL's Dr. Martin Vucher, a renowned dentist, updated those in attendance about the case brought against the country's health authorities, whom the group accuses of abusing state resources and gross violations of people's rights through COVID-19 vaccines. Many measures and procedures that were enforced have been shown to have been ineffective or even harmful. In many cases, the public was lied to, he said. In attendance was Republican Party President Hank Mudge, who himself has maintained a hardline anti-vaccine stance since the advent of the deadly virus. He said the court case aims to bring the truth out and to ensure the government does not repeat similar behavior in future. Among regulations he deemed to have violated the rights of Namibians are those related to distancing, especially during burials of people who died from the virus. Vucher told his audience that the government imposed censorship against the public and individuals, and in some cases prosecution if they spoke out against certain measures. In our Community Talk segment, the Deputy Executive Director of the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture gave an update on the ministry's stance on the stabbing incident.
The Evening Review is a daily interview-based talk show that dissects and expounds on current affairs as they occur in Namibia. The show aims at reaching Namibians of all age groups who seek better understanding of the state of current affairs in the country. This show is broadcasted on NTV, OneUpTwo.com, and cross-shared on the following Facebook platforms: Namibian Sun and Namibia Media Holdings. The Evening Review focuses on interviews, latest news, and up-to-the-minute current events. Contact evening@synergy.com.na. Evening Review, unpacking today's pertinent issues.
After a stabbing incident at El Dorado Secondary School, the acting Deputy Executive Director of the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Knox Imbua, gave an update on the ministry's stance on the stabbing. The incident took place yesterday as a teacher was stabbed by a parent after his child was allegedly assaulted by the teacher.
Thank you. I must maybe reiterate that it's a matter that we do not take lightly. We, as a ministry, through the regional office, has sanctioned an investigation, a preliminary investigation, in order to establish the circumstances that led to this very unfortunate event. We have also reactivated to ensure that we reinforce our school safety measures that, in fact, are expected to be in place at all times. We have also advised the school, and they've done so, to go and open a criminal case against the perpetrator, being this parent, with the relevant police station. So that has been done. We would conduct a full or a detailed investigation in order to determine the nitty-gritties that led to this issue. In our case, we consider this a criminal case that should also include the engagement of our police so that they deal with the issue. We have also internal mechanism in place where the affected teacher would be assisted with counseling using our operators in-house. But nonetheless, the education activities would continue regardless. Yeah.
Okay, what is your say on corporal disciplinary?
Well, our policy is very clear. We do not allow corporal punishment to our learners. As I'm indicating, we would investigate, but what we always advocate is that regardless of the level of transgressions that the learner undertakes at schools, there should be no corporal punishment. We have punitive measures that are in place to deal with issues of ill discipline among learners, but physical punishment, such as corporal punishment, is not among those measures.
As per our arrival yesterday, we found teachers with weapons that they found in the kids' bags and pockets. What do you think should be implemented for the kids not to bring weapons to school?
As I indicated, we need to enforce our school safety measures. In other words, ensure that all of security measures are observed. We also would engage, particularly the parents, because these are children coming from somebody's home, where we believe any measures to ensure the security of the school and those within the school, being the community itself, must start with the parents. And for us, issues of awareness among the school communities, and in particular the learners themselves, is important. Not only for this school, but again, it's an incident that alerts us to the need to ensure that at all times we must be alert at all our schools. We have security presence at all our schools, but I think it's unfortunate that at this point in time we were caught off guard. And I think the advice and the directives to all the regional offices and the circuits and the schools is that they must immediately ensure the enforcement and the strengthening of the security measures. That no school children should be allowed to come with weapons within the school premises. Those that have fencing, I think we would be introducing searches at schools randomly to ensure that these incidents does not take place. I must also indicate that we shall be engaging with the police to ensure that they assist us with random searches of schools to try and avert incidences such as this.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
Let's take a look at our story of the day. Rundu Mayor Gabriel Kanyanga has informed the Northern Electricity Distributor, NORED, that the local authority is willing to end their relationship if they continue to receive peanuts as surcharges. Kanyanga made the remarks during a stakeholders meeting this week in Rundu. Kenya Kambowe reports.
Coming late as we had a management meeting, I even left my colleagues are still continuing with the meeting. Due to the matter of valuing also this meeting, I have to excuse myself and to join you. I'm Kanyanga Gabriel, the mayor of Rundu Town. Last week, we had a meeting with the public, a trade fair, the issue of NORED, whereby the issue of the darkness in town. I believe that maybe you happen to touch it into your discussions, whereby all our street light majority, they are off. One might say that maybe there might be not people who are stealing what, and how are other towns are getting it right? Is it the thief are only in Rundu, or how are you getting it right on the other towns? Yeah, being the darkest town and is the town that is supplying a lot of money in terms of buying power to NORED, we were sent by the community to do a benchmark with Oshakati to go see how is Oshakati Premier doing. We happen to learn that the council even does not do anything about electricity, whereby Oshakati Premier does everything, as long as they just come to the table and agree on terms and ways the contribution from electricity will come from to expand electricity or whatever that they are to do. So as a mark, I'm so happy that the CEO of NORED is here, and he was the first person to deny joining NORED by then, as he was a CEO of Oshakati. That's why we are saying that it's probably it's a higher time of Rundu Town Council also maybe to pull off from NORED in order for us to stand on our own. Because I know that millions that are being pulled in Rundu, if it's cycling within the region itself, this problem we are talking about could be addressed. Currently, money are being taken that side, and when we are to get whatever shares that we are to get, we are the one who are contributing more, but when we are sharing, we got what.
It's now time to head into our economic news. The banking sector observed an increase in the number of fraud and related economic crimes during 2022 in comparison to the previous reporting period, according to the Bank of Namibia. A total of 370 fraud cases were reported in 2022 compared to 268 cases reported in 2021. Let's now take a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 17.79 to the US and 19.34 to the euro. It trades at 22.02 to the pound and $2.58 by Yuan Chinese yuan. Zinc is down by 0.82% and Brent crude oil is down by 0.36%, trading at $78.96 per barrel. We now take a look at the international news. An Australian woman has spoken out after she received a warning letter that she had broken surf club rules by being naked in a changing room. Ocean swimmer Nada Pantel was told she had breached a no nudity clause in the club's child safe policy. "I almost feel like I have been body shamed," she told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. But the club says its policy is designed to protect children and they had received complaints about nudity. The Terrigal Serve Life Saving Club, located about an hour's drive north of Sydney, put up a sign in its changing room advising no nudity and directing members to shower in their swimming costumes and change under towels. Pentel raised the issue at a club meeting, but shortly afterwards she received a letter stating she had breached the no nudity rule and would be disciplined and asked to leave if she did it again. Pentel instead chose to resign. Let's take a look at our weather update. For tomorrow weather, a partly sunny weather is expected in Anana at 34 degrees and partly sunny weather is expected in Ruakana, also at 34 degrees. Partly sunny weather is expected along the coast with a high of 21 degrees in Walvis Bay and 21 degrees in Henties Bay. On Sunday, sunny weather is expected in Anana at 30 degrees and sunny weather also expected in Ruakana, also at 32 degrees. Partly sunny weather is expected along the coast with a high of 21 degrees in Walvis Bay and 21 degrees in Henties Bay. We'll be taking a look at the sports news shortly. A face-off organized by the Salute Boxing Academy took place ahead of their planned bonanza, which is scheduled for Saturday. In the main bout, Namibian Philemon Nguhutenyane and his South African opponent Theo Ngriapi will step into the ring at the Roman Catholic Hall. Sanlam Namibia early this month launched its third annual Sanlam Coastal Marathon, which will take place on Swakopmund on the 29th of April to unearth athletic talent. The marathon is set to create a platform for athletes to craft their skills while at the same time promoting physical and mental health and fitness for all. The Namibia Eagles continued the recovery of their ICC World Cup qualifier playoff campaign with a comfortable 8-wicket win with 107 balls remaining against Jersey yesterday. The highlights follows after the break.
My.NA Property Show provides viewers with the best in-class content, engaging interviews, as well as a showcase of the latest property-related products and services. If you would like to feature your brand or your campaign on this platform, contact My.NA at synergy.com.na. My.NA Properties, more than just a roof over your head.
You're watching Sunset News. Let's take a look at the news highlights from today's broadcast. A group of children of the liberation struggle who have been camping at the Sopo Party Kavango East Regional Headquarters in Rundu since July 2022 have changed course on their demands. Classes at all schools in the Commons region will now start no earlier than 7:30 a.m. and no later than 8:30 a.m. This is according to a new directive issued to school board chairpersons and principals. Sanlam Namibia early this month launched its third annual Sanlam Coastal Marathon, which will take place in Swakopmund on the 29th of April to unearth athletic talent. And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the animate platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, OneUpTwo.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 94 every weekday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.